Hello once more and welcome back to my channel. Knowing closeness is more than merely physical contact. It involves a tapping into the more profound emotional and psychological characteristics of your spouse, and in this video while important that women frequently desire for their partners to touch, demonstrating emotions can improve comprehends connecting. We will also explore the psychology of these preferences, based on female psychology, stoicism, and to assist in creating a more deep connection in your relationships. The importance of maintaining eye contact. Click the subscribe button if you're interested in prepared to step up your handling connections and unleash the potential of stoic in your life. Means that you're in the appropriate location. Each video provides you with one more step toward mental mastery and making deeper, more significant confinement. Let's get going. Okay. Thesis: the harsh reality of closeness is more than simply the physical aspect of it. Further into the power of touch and attraction, the domain of trust, and hot relationship and comprehension. You might believe that talk is everything. However, there's a most men overlook this secret weapon view off making eye contact. Yes, I am discussing the type of off-eye contact. It breaks down and cuts through the noise wall and fosters a closer bond marathon. You ever thought you've most likely felt it prior to instances where looker and thighs and the entire world is apers? It's not about looking at her clumsy locks some creep. This isn't the same dot. This is about the selling words run accessory. And your eyes array it's at unstated amid all speech connection that speaks louder than words. When your eyes meet hers, you could see it resembles a surge in an electric current. That's the power of the between you. To contact has the ability powerful. Due to its honest and drawing, it can help you nearer than you ever imagined. However, the worst part is that eye contact isn't only abdizing it's also abjulous obliging trust. When you investigate her eyes and she notices that you're a comply present, at which point the genuine relationshipers shows you're not meant only phys but also emotionally. It's also about psychological trends. To her thought she cares that it's not preoccupied you're with her, but you're immersed in your own thoughts in that instant, which is real port. And don't just believe me, say that science supports they're least triggered by this upcontitisynth damage that caused fistering in glove and trust, so that each one you meet thurgus, you're literally fortify your it goes beyond simply touching the appropriate places. The goal is to evoke an emotional rooted connection. This is when the stoic way of thinking thesis to play the stoics were marathon first place subtle but powerful, just regulating their surroundings. Realize that true power comes from controlling how you react to the outside world, and in closeness that entails being totally available when you gaze at with goal. When you're not preoccupied with your no considering for afterward, when you are alone with her at that point, you assume commandably at that point you'd menstruate to her thought. You're not merely a man seeking avenue who appreciates this bond. So the next time you'd be afraid to make eye contact with her, kit there, look intently and firmly. Give her some impression that you're either. When you do, let her know that you appreciate her. You're not disarray. Building a relationship off trust, relationship that transcends the surface heat, which point things truly begin to eye contact is more than just a technique. That power in the list visibly. It's revolutionary because onseal being, once you've mastered it, you'll see the difference. I assure we a talent that transcends closeness and will transform how you relate to thirst, how you cultivate connections, and our appearance in the globe. And after you discover how to utilize that power, and you'll probably okay, let's discuss the power is a myth that most men overlook off contacting less visible areas. You'll believe it's all about the typical, the locations the very undiscussed are losing out on an entire line degree of connection. Allow them to give you a hefty blow. The truth is that a woman's body has spots that trigger shin properly to adjustments that are far more intense than you may believe. That these secret locations are where once you figure the zoot the magathapens out, you'll be able to establish stronger matter miss just as much. If you wish to create that intense connection, you must select your words with caring. No nonsense, no flattery. Just because genuine flattering remarks coming from allocation off genuine. Tell her how beautiful sheep is certain, but make it personal. What you adore, bother, and what motivates you. You're a crazy beauty, it's not about gratitude. Eyes away is important. Anticipation is fourth place. Ultimate touch point. Crucial observivito. The hinting or tantalizing what's what comes next might cause her to cling to every word is an effective strategy fit. Here you're painting a picture, not just talking a mud in her head. Gradually gain strength that stress that ice waiting for discover what comes next and it begins. Let's discuss pace slowly. Now that we have you occasionally talk so you're revealing askret. Oh, her alone dot. It strikes that gentle personal tone distinct. But don't be scared to change it up. Tobe come little stiffer every shift in bold or but keep it warm. Yay. Keep her be using your voice completely absorb sharpening her senses in ways that words can eat desire. It's the subtle reason shoe that is important. Combine touching her, perhaps stroking her neck or your hand on her back. This is theckled truth with passions, something you must comprehend. Soft strokes that have a greater impact that great. Gestures can disarmed with words pleasant but host peaceful provate the whispers that give her feelings actually sincerely hope she will recall those she will remember certain much longer than the sin about playing anything else this game is. About being authentic and deliberate ants is where the Stoics and Stoic philosophy believed in having control over your ideas, your behavior, and the influence that you have on other people. It's not simply about regulating your speech regarding presenting it with intention. Your words have the power to create chaos or tranquil relation. You own the ability to produce something to noble. But it did man's master of being totally present to your feelings and use a sorority to establish a sincere port at the following time meetinally solely on her since you're close to her. Physical contact communicates with a Paris using your voice to convey message and establish the tone towards your desire since in the end ultimately it doesn't matter how much you claim that about your words and your maneras how you feel ants. Nobody can in your power or how tiered her repus quickly I a question for yab for wheresum which method do you prefer for creating deep relationship with a womani would adore for you to leave a remarkable and provide your aidas or if you're unsure about what the exemplink will be established in the briefment paying attention to your viewpoint makes these discussions that far more significant and that Makista's video even more accessibly who could find it is further forgo please take amet to leave a comment. I'm eager to read your next words. Let's continue. The finest part is still in front of number 4 sweetie atuches that are more expressive ethname words speaking about your hands they are not only to be touched. They are rather to forget a brute force or haste when communicating. This strength is in the intention and accuracy. Imagine that quality is more important than the quantity. Each touch is like a brushstroke on her body and the canvas a really masterpiece. Gradual trace of a gentle graze. A longer back down her stomach or a gentle pat on her thighs can establish a stronger bond beyond merely physical. The key is to explore you with touch diversity. Glide off temperature and pressure. Speed running your fingers over her flesh or applying pressure. Her back's tiny. These small actions reveal a lot about her. A gentle pat on neck is your golden zone. A stroke around her neck or behind it waves off sensation from the collarbone. She won't anticipate the major shock and dynamis you're demonstrating. Do her distinct. It goes beyond what you accomplish, how you do it. A slow methodical stroke when paired with the appropriate presser poises. The Timinga remarkable Blexpense is everything. Let's now introduce this. Instructed behavior purposefully and be totally note responding rashly in theme. Me and your touch need to convey stoic approach to physical touch. Shitude a purposeful don't and deliberate tonitrial brush it's there. So go slowly on let your hand will talk once your complete gentle touch will have a greater significance as Opposed to Thysu is you do anything grand decept it's number 5 and the real power okay behind pleasure if you're Rithikan Offman who is still here we are another to settle for mediocrancians you're not content with the surface level of enjoyment. Beyond the next you're seeking depth and insight not cheap thrills and genuine bonding which is what isolatist minds actual power and intimacy between men and boys. So let's examine Ethel. Let's examine Phthal. Like look at this. Let's send me with this. Let's send me land. We all know I've been exploring that Meckel is case. So it's case lads and with Katie throlls. And we send my twadot. We send my thul. I case me atlk. We see to go to you to see with you. We can cue strength bend it. Most men believe that pleasure is evering through grudging piety the hands the contact moves but allow me to provide a bit of information. Ruthless intellect weight. Most weight. The most powerful thing in your mind. Organ that interprets each and very touch every word. To become an expert off school. But if you're not participating you're missing the point Desire in her view. It all starts with pleasure and fulfillment in the mind-brain. McKiss's final decision. What thrills her? What feels good? What makes her want toast up more if you wanna concentrate on her physique? You'll missed. Get in touch with first in her mind. And here's the catchies. The starting point for serious power complaints. Conversation. Yes. I did say it. Well, your hidden weapon is talc prior. Tony. Hiking. Physical happening. Take the time to learn about her preferences. What turns her on and what makes her tick. Inquire about her. Dreams and establish the secure environment where Ash can express hers more at ease. You'll make her fail with you in mind. It's simpler to physically unlock her. You're a net mereless seeking zix that you want to produce an encounter that energize a very aspect of for and their mental health issues. Continue games have Thier to Modify's game as she messages that are suggestive before you lay a hand on her final thoughts. An outro gives awake clues about what's going to await a Darl. It's among the most strong Paul thought Macus you crave her to feel instant for the previous moment. It even starts let me share some knowledge stated holics outside of dreams. Deepest pleasure risoked inside DOS not originate from flashy moves that psychological and emote relationship use. Tapish here is where genuine knowing her on a personal level gives you power to poor level. Nor remember that pleasure is not mentaldos, also physical. Reacto visual stimuli other than touch and sound effects softly set the scene lighting that fits the mood. This particular Sant Mere details. They interactivisis. Where when Stoicism is applied to Stoic to do teach self-control over your abilities and incapable of controlling hat they taught a boot presence and comprehension when you are there with your spouse on an emotion level and you have mental power over the experience which makes it strong and satisfying on all levels. So keep that in mind when you establish a with her. Recognize her ears before making contact. You're in it merely making the occasion better her when you get proficient. You're changing it. It's the art of mental and physical relationships. You're not merely having your care resulting in an amazing experience. Therefore this Isihor incentive allow me to drop something. Also little reminder by Talia brother undervalued the in relation tone adjointment the reality is the mental and emotional bond that deepens the understanding the true Zion is I fan a thing. Else for sure it's nice to know all the right moves but it all depends on how you'll make her feel the real thing so the game on its head aphrodisiac let's bring the very thing into Masaibi into people's Moran just what you're in conclusion being aware of thy important areas is where shed is ours to feel touched intimized more than simple physical attractions secret locations there where onto your figure this out themigi chapens out will be able to escape surpasses even the most basic I'm being gently touched as little of a faint graze down the nape of her back off her throat or a light pressure on thewith in her wrist which is unexpected. But these low cushions are quite delicate and when you touch them purposefully either than haphazardly, Your message her in a manner similar to talking with your hands isn't about only following the procedures. It's about giving each action purpose like a quick deal like her body recognizes. Now consider areas such as Rhea, her neck holders or knees. Even her earlobes might appear tinier and impertinent, but believing when saith they possess enormous potential. These cond. Place the emotional trigger keys in Helluticum occasionally with a gentle touch works far better than going out. A solid plaything, softness and pressure, and observe how your body reacts in unexpected ways. However, thesis where them realist and doubt-finding hidden spots is more than just making showing her physical pleasure is thy goal that you are there, and that you are concerned enough to examine what truly brings her joy. These locations have either a connection, no a mechanism of pleasure, and when you'll bane it, yes, you'll ignore the exterior and you finish her body will be grateful. No words are needed. Let's it us not about playing games. Let's face it, this is about making a deeper connection. Level it involves looking past appearances. Level encounters that the majority of men are involved in and genuine concurring with her in some manner that fosters closeness, and have faith when you investigate these surprising spots or not merely stroking her body, you're making her feel something. In thoughts what distinguishes those who are from individuals who leave a lasting impression. And here's another strong hairstyle tip for her may seem easy, but managing, you're playing with her hair with her fingers or simply giving it a pat can feel extra malapit, such as this extends beyond the physical realm, conveys concern, affection, connection, which is calming, consoling, and demonstrates to your attention and presence into her. Therefore, let's go to the next point. Just leave when you are near her. Slow down and take your time at the typical locations time and investigate less evident areas. Observe how her bidius responds, and when you experience mastery the skill of speaking and thread off delivery, lean into their response. It's about hurrying or kicking boxers, ensuring that every touch matches belly. When you begin to take note of Darius, you'll establish a degrade into massa that she will never forget. So let's bring in some of the Stoics. Pispis, the ability to present, and concentrating on the present, and exercising control what you can. In third place, the secret spot. Most men ignoreth closeness space, they tent tales being totally present. Read or hurrying through the physical XMR Shento reach ultimate objective is to comprehend the effect of each touch 8 very instant as well as your reaction to it. When you do all see that most profound force is not used to create connections. They're created by being patient and presenting comprehension. So that the next time I'll keep in mind that it's not simply about the obvious locations. Do focus on the small topics that nobody discusses and the ability to be totally present with, since doing so will result in the development of a relationship that's more than just physical, real, passionate, and unforgettable. Okay, so let's be honest for a moment and discover how to master art of number 3 of your words. And more crucially, how. As you mentioned, most men don't notice this, but believe me's a gun share. The key is actual contact. Thus, it's crucial, but what really matters is your voice, weapon thirst. Spoken words you might ignite spark with intention, that you didn't even knew it was feasible to consider this. Most men didn't even think about her. However, I must say that it's absurdly. The appropriate words were whispered, at the delicate, the appropriate tone at the proper moment. They've a significant impact on many malisengrist in the depending on appearancy or what should function. But I can use it intent and tone what truly make you stand out. Words, soaringly words, airy instruments, and when utilized, they are deadly whispers. So use them carefully while you're near here. Anything in her ear,